Hey everybody, welcome back. This is for our Hop into Spring YouTube craft hop. And we are all making tags, and that when I say all, that's Release the Craftin', myself, SB Artistry, and Pink God Bird, and Gypsy Rose Papery. And so we're all linking each other, but that would be great if you could watch all of ours, because we're all going to make some cool tags with the spring theme. And I've never really made one on camera before, so forgive me if I don't appear to know what I'm doing. Spoiler alert, sometimes I don't. Anyway, so I'm going to be making a tag with these items here, and what I am going to start with is, let me clear some of this out. I'm going to start with a piece of cardboard, and this is just scrap cardboard. Who knows where it came from? And I have a little tool that I use, you know, for molding paste or what have you. That works really well for this type of thing. You just work it underneath the top layer of paper, and you start peeling it back like this, and it comes off pretty cleanly. I'm not going to make you sit through that whole thing. I've already done one here. So the size that we all agreed on was a 4x8-ish. So this is pretty much 4x8, I want to say, oh yeah, 4x8. I'm going to go a little bit shabbier on my tag. So what I am going to do is, now that I have it the way I want it, not all of the top comes off, and if that bugs you, you can, you know, pick it off with your fingernail or whatever. I don't mind some of it on there myself. So I'm going to kind of rough it up a little bit here by tearing pieces and parts. I am very random about this. I don't really think about it too much. I do just whatever my hands tell me to do. And then what happens is I end up with something like this. And I'm just gonna go with it. I'm happy with that. You don't even have to tear it if you don't want to. I just really prefer it to be torn and kind of fussy-mussy looking. So, and I am going to do just one more little tear right here for what I'm going to do later. Alright, now, it's very boring color, and that's why we're bringing out, I use the stains or the inks or the oxides. They all work just as well for me. So, you know, don't think you have to buy something. Whatever you've got. And I've got some inks that work quite well, and they are Hampton Art. They're just, you know, little cheapo inks. They work too. So, again, don't think you have to buy brand name, super expensive stuff. But what I do, and I believe Priscilla kind of showed this as well, I just pat, 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 pat. And this is my super fancy, super expensive work mat. It's a dollar store placemat. So yeah, I'm pretty cheap. The one thing that you don't want to do is kind of mix your colors together, because then, it, you know, you mix too many and they just turn out black, brown, black, whatever. So, and I, again, no rhyme or reason. I just throw them on there. And then I just spritz with a little water. And then pat it down. And you'll see, hopefully, that you don't get a ton of color, but you get little pieces and flecks, and it's kind of cool. So I just do that a few times. Don't do it too much, and don't do this because, again, it'll get muddy. And then I also wipe up any excess on the back. It does not have to be perfect. Perfect is boring. Okay. Ah, then your hands come out really cool too. Alright. Clean that up, and I'm going to hit this with the glue gun, or not the glue gun, the heat gun, super, super quick. It doesn't take much because it's not sopping wet. And it doesn't need to be, you know, bone dry or anything. Just, you know, so it's not going to come off on your hands. Does not take long. Okay. And then I like to go around it again with this one's Vintage Photo, and just give it a nice little go around here on the edges. And again, I'm not too concerned with what all of the color looks like. That is only a background. You don't have to do it that way. If you have another way that you're more comfortable with, that's awesome. Do it. It's just how I like to do it because it's kind of free and messy and fun. And then I'm just going to go over some of these bits and pieces. Not much, because there's some pretty colors on here, and I hope I'm staying in frame here. So you can see it's subtle, but it's there. The, oh, what do you call it? The distressing around the edges. And I apologize again for the shadows. It was so nice when I got home from the grocery store a couple of hours ago. And just as I was getting ready to film, my phone dinged, and it said that there's a weather alert in my area. Great. So it immediately got gray. It is super gray outside now. I've lost all the sun. Oh well. Okay, so there's my base. And then I previously went through and I just picked out some things that I wanted to use, or I think I want to use on this tag. Things change, you know, that's okay. But I had this strip of, not burlap, what is that? Muslin or something. And I did sew it onto a back of some scrap paper just because then it's easier to adhere. And so what I thought would be cute, excuse me. Oh, and before I do that, I'm going to fray up these edges just a little bit. Take off some of those strings, fray them up just a little. I think that would look good. If I can get them going. There we go. And I'll do the same down here real quick. And I'm poking the paper, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Then you have strings all over. Alright, and I'm thinking I'm going to go a little sideways with it maybe. So I'm going to do up my glue. I use a variety of glue. Aleene's is pretty much my go-to along with Fabri-Tac. I live in a very dry part of Colorado, and hot glue has a tendency to get brittle over time where I live, so I kind of have given up on my hot glue. But that's okay because I like the other ones that I use. Okay, the one thing that I definitely know I want to use is this cool Tim Holtz Botanical, because I'm using several of these, and I'm just googieing it up again here. I'm using several of these in the journal that I'm making. So when Priscilla said, hey, let's do this, I'm like, well, yeah, because I'm already kind of doing it anyway. So I definitely want to use that, and I'm thinking that maybe some of this avocado dyed cheesecloth from Shayna will be good for some texture here. Let's see what we can do. Get it where we want it. What do you think? Oh, that's kind of cute. Okay, I like that. I'm going to add a little bit more down here. And that's pretty cute. So I'm going to dab some glue here and there. And when you do cheesecloth, I just, like I say, dab it. Ding, ding, ding. Because usually I put something on the top of it, like this. And it turns out that this holds everything down. I like to get the edges. And let's see, let's do right about in there. And if the glue gloobers out, I do not care, because I just smash it onto my fingers and it comes right off. It's like magic. Okay. There we go. And then I also have some die cuts. And I just thought I'd play around. I had these in my stash. I just pulled them out for no good reason, and I'm thinking I kind of like this one. And then I have this cool bee. I think Priscilla gave it to me. Priscilla, if I'm wrong, sorry about that, but I think it was her. And actually, I think if I move that down a little bit, what do you think? No, that doesn't look right. That does. Okay. So, just distress this just a little tiny bit. Does not take much. And I'll glue this down. That's pretty cute. I'll save that for another day. And then when it comes to metal pieces, that's usually like an E6000 job, which my husband has stolen all of my E6000. I don't think I will ever own another bottle again because he steals it all. So I'm just going to use my Fabri-Tac because it does pretty darn good. It's a pretty strong glue for things like this. This one's almost out. But yeah, goober that up. And of course you have to be very gentle with it until it dries all the way, but we can do that. That looks pretty good. All right. I like it. I like it. I like it. One thing that I do like to do is I like to wrap some ribbon, yarn, something around there. So I had several set out, and you just have to figure out what looks best, you know? So this one I thought would bring out the red colors. So we're gonna see how this looks. And like I say, I like to wrap it around a couple of times, so that might be kind of cute. I don't want to go dark because of the spring theme. I do have green. And, ooh, that would be really cute, I think. And I think that's going to be the winner here. So I'm just going to leave a nice tail on the front. And this is why I did this, because then you have something to wrap around. You don't have to. Again, if it's just straight cardboard, it'll wrap just fine. And I don't care what it looks like. As far as if it twists and turns, that is fine with me. Remember several years ago, I used to have a plaque hanging up in my kitchen that said, "Boring women have clean houses." So, while my house is fairly clean now, I still like to play a little bit. I don't like to be boring. Okay, so how long did this take us? 15 minutes or so. And we've got this really cute little tag to go in our spring journals. Isn't that darling? Super easy and a great way to use up scrap cardboard, scrap ribbons. All this basically is pretty much scrap stuff except for this. Not bad, huh? And I'll carefully turn it over. And you can zing up the back some more, of course, if you want. That is fine. I'm probably going to go back and distress the back a little bit more, but yeah, pretty cute, right? All right, hop on over to my friend's channel and see what she does next. Have a great Easter, everybody. Bye.